I am so much more in my feels than I thought I would be, but it looks like TikTok is actually going to be banned. Now, Congress voted a while ago to ban TikTok. And here's the thing, it's not just TikTok. This is also potentially all of the ByteDance apps, including Lemonade, which a lot of people are moving over to in response to TikTok potentially being banned, and CapCut, which is my personal favorite editing software, which I'm going to talk about in a minute.
More bubbles?
More bubbles, please?
Yeah.
Now, today is the 13th of January, and the Supreme Court just heard arguments about whether or not TikTok should be banned last week. But a lot of people are saying it sounds like they're indicating they will uphold the ban. And we've got about 1 week until the ban would go into effect. So we're still in like no man's land, but I think everyone's kind of preparing for the worst case scenario at this point. And as someone who spent the last year building my platform on TikTok, and that's where the majority of my community is, where I've created most of my content for, it is pretty upsetting. However, I also was planning to step back from TikTok a little bit no matter what because of the changing priorities of my life and my business. And so I'm going to walk through like what I think creators should do. And as someone who has been in online business for 10 years, where when I started in digital marketing, online marketing, Facebook was it. Instagram was an app where you like shared pictures of your food, and maybe like your babies or your cat. Okay. Like pretty sunsets. I shared a lot of pretty sunsets on Instagram back in the day. That obviously is not what Instagram has turned into. And Facebook is like a graveyard of, you know, people you knew in high school and boomers who are media illiterate. So sorry. If you're a boomer and you are media literate, this is not for you. This is just for the folks who think that by sharing a picture of a starving child, you're actually helping that starving child. You are not. You are just helping somebody make money somehow, but not that child. Anyways, my name is Morgan Batista, and like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen apps come and go. You know, there's like a lot of memes and jokes going around about millennials. Like, we're just so used to social media platforms coming and going at this point that it's just like another notch in the proverbial bedpost for us of getting screwed by the tech gods, I guess. Anyways, let's keep going. So I want to give us an actual plan here, and you know, I have been proclaiming for a while that I am all about having a Hobbit girl business, a cozy business, something that doesn't force you to hustle a lot. And I create that for myself and my clients through the way that we structure the systems within our business, which a lot of that, a huge portion of that is content creation. And TikTok and Instagram to some extent are not always the best for that because there is this pressure to create a lot of content consistently in order to stay like relevant, right, in the algorithm. But I want us to step back and start thinking about, okay, if TikTok's gone, and even if TikTok is not gone, what are our actual goals with our content? What are our goals for our business? And then how are we going to match up a marketing and content plan that makes sense for that? Now, here on YouTube, I am in the midst of a 31 videos in 31 days challenge where I'm creating 31 videos here, long form, not short form videos, to kind of kick off my journey here on YouTube. And obviously it's because I've decided to make this my main platform, to be honest with you. I love creating video. I was a broadcast journalism major in college, so editing is an easy process for me. It feels like a no-brainer. So my plan, even before I knew that TikTok was definitely going to be gone, was to try to transition to making YouTube my primary place of creating content. And I suggest that everybody picks at least one place where they're focusing on long-form content. Now, for me, that is YouTube, but I also have a podcast. And so every piece of content that I post on YouTube, at least the long form content, also automatically goes over to the podcast. So you kind of get a 2-for-1 there. Although like the podcast is not the main focus, YouTube is, and the podcast is where I'm repurposing things. However, next month in February, my challenge to myself there is to do collaborations, and part of those collaborations is having guests on the podcast. And so I will be kind of making the podcast feel more podcasty starting next month as well. But the podcast and YouTube are really kind of like one in the same. It's the same content, just in audio versus video form. So you could do that. You could also say that, well, actually like the podcasting medium and focusing on the audio presentation versus the video is my main content creation that I'm going to be doing. And then I'll also just happen to post it on YouTube. That is fine too. But whether it is YouTube or a podcast, I highly suggest picking one of those. The third thing that goes hand in hand with that when you're creating long form content is a blog. And I started as a blogger 10 years ago. I was a mommy blogger in the height of the blogging days. And after I did that for a while, I started getting hired by other blogs to write for them and to help other businesses create their copy and their websites and all that stuff. And so my plan is that every piece of content that I'm creating that is a long form piece of content will also be turned into a blog. And I'm going to do another video completely about the nitty-gritty of repurposing pieces of content so that you can do the least amount of work and have the widest reach possible while still maintaining your voice and the quality of your content. But whether you do all three of these, YouTube, podcast, and a blog, we need to have a platform where there's longevity. So, on YouTube, you're going to get served up like as a user of YouTube, you probably notice that you get served up content that is fresh and new, and then also content that's years old on your feed. It's going to be a mix. And so your content has the ability to get reach now immediately, but also long-term, especially if you're focusing on SEO or search engine optimization. Again, over the next few weeks, I'm going to be doing a real deep dive into SEO and how to use search to get seen and to drive traffic to your website and to your offers. But podcasts, YouTube, and Google, and by Google, I mean blogging, these all have SEO as a component of them. And so I would really want you to pick one of these platforms, if not all of them. And then to go along with that, I still think that we need some sort of more social media, because really like blogging, YouTube, and podcasting, these aren't really social media. They're just like long form content platforms. It's a bit of a different vibe. And I think every business should probably be on Instagram. I think even if you're not going to be super active on there, you should have it as like a business card, right? So let's say you don't want to be active on there. Okay, well, like let's plan 9 squares that let people know what your business is about, who you work for, who you work with, what your offers are, what to expect from you, how they can reach out to you, all of that good stuff. So if someone lands on your Instagram, it doesn't look like you don't care. For me, if I see that a business doesn't at least have something on Instagram, I really think that they're not taking their marketing seriously, because whether you like or don't like Instagram, it's pretty much the main social media spot right now, especially with TikTok probably going away. And even if TikTok isn't going away, even if you live in a country where TikTok is not going to be banned, I still think that having, like I said, at least a basic storefront almost on Instagram where people can like see that you at least put in some effort to treat it like a business card. Even if you post once a week, even if you post a couple times a month, that is still, I think, super worth it, because so many people go there to check out businesses. A lot of people will come check out your Instagram even before your website. Let's be real. There's not going to be another app exactly like TikTok. TikTok is a special place. It really is. And there are a lot of things that are not great about TikTok. The brain rot is real. The short attention span is real, but like the community is real. Learning lots of new things you never would have come across is real. It's the reach, the organic reach that you can get as a business is real. And so there are a lot of things we're going to miss there. And I think one unfortunate thing I see, which I'm testing out, is people are trying to figure out like where they're going to go now. And I do think that YouTube and Instagram are going to be some of the main spots, but you know, Lemonade, which is owned by ByteDance, a lot of people are moving over there. I also started posting a little bit of content there, but because it's a ByteDance app, it is probably going to suffer the same fate as TikTok. Blue Sky is another option. I posted my first post there today, and so I don't have much to say about it yet. But I am on Threads, which is connected to Instagram, and it seems like a similar vibe maybe to Threads. So we'll kind of see how it goes. What if there's like a resurgence of Facebook? Maybe we'll like get back into Facebook groups again. Like that would be a nice change of events, right? I'm not sure. I think that there's going to be a lot of floundering in general. And I think Instagram and YouTube are going to try to kind of win out for most of the attention. And I think that those are two of the main ones anyways, right? So most people are going to go to those. There's two big lessons that I have not so much learned, but have reaffirmed for me in this whole process. And number one is that you really need to get your followers and your community off of social media. You know, we don't know if platforms will be around tomorrow. They could go down. Your profile could get banned for whatever reason. The algorithm could change and your reach diminishes. There's so many things that could go wrong that you need to have a plan for what if that happens. And the best thing you can do is to have an email list. Email list is something that you own. Nobody can take this from you. You're able to reach out to your community, to your customers at any moment when you have an email list. You could also even add texting to that. You can also, now this is still connected to Instagram, so I think that is still a little bit wishy-washy, but you can use ManyChat as an additional way to deepen the connection with your followers and then lead them from ManyChat to your email list. But our goal should be, yes, to build our online communities, but to take those communities into a space that we own and that we have created. And here's the thing, email lists are still wildly profitable. There's a reason that pretty much every website you go to, there's a pop-up that comes up and it's like, enter your email for 15% off or for a $10 coupon or whatever it is. It's because businesses know if they get your email address, they're probably going to make money off of you in some way. And so we don't have to be as aggressive or as money hungry if that's not your vibe. We are businesses, we do want to make money, but you can adapt these strategies to fit for you. But I think if you start thinking about email not as like you just trying to like get into people's inboxes and sell to them constantly, but to have another channel to provide value for people, that would be the ideal. And I think as TikTok slowly goes away, we should be, instead of telling our people to go follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, maybe it should be to join our email list, because then regardless of what platform you're on, you're still going to be able to contact them. There is one more fly in the ointment for me personally. I love CapCut. That is what I use to edit all of my videos. I love both their mobile app, but also I've been using it on desktop for a long time, and there are a few really great features. Some of them are paid, but CapCut is very affordable, so I feel like I don't mind paying for them. Like getting auto-generated captions is really nice, but also I love the fact that they will clip your long-form videos into short-form videos for you, and then you can just do like a small few little tweaks if you want, and you've got all of these short-form pieces of content ready to go to repurpose to Instagram, to TikTok, to YouTube Shorts, wherever you want to repurpose them to. And so I'm now on the hunt for a new editing software that kind of fulfills all of the pieces, as well as is affordable, because and user friendly. I've been editing videos for a very long time, so I could use anything really, but like I like to help my clients and my community find solutions that work for them. And so I want to pick tools that work for both someone who is brand new and someone who has a lot of experience. And I felt that CapCut kind of worked for 98% of people out there. So I'm going to be doing, probably my next video or two is going to be a breakdown of all the different editing software options to use since CapCut is probably going away. And so I'm going to look at both the mobile versions and the desktop versions. I do really like editing on the desktop for long form video. If you have any suggestions on ones that you want me to check out or you want me to try or you want me to do tutorials of, please feel free to put those in the comments and then I will make sure to include them as long as they're not too expensive. I know some of the options that I'm going to try are totally free. Some of them are going to be paid and are on the more expensive side, I would say, like Premiere Pro from Adobe. My husband has it on his computer, so I'm going to see if he'll let me just like test it out over there, and it's for his work, so I can't really like steal it, but maybe he'll let me just like look at it and do a little tutorial on it and see if I want to buy it for our business. So we'll see. But over the next day or two, I'm going to be doing like a big breakdown of my exact content creation process, because I have a pretty like regimented way that I create content now that significantly reduces the amount of time that it takes me and makes it just like simpler and easy to follow. And I thought it would be helpful if I kind of like walk through that with everybody, especially because I have ADHD, and so it's easy to kind of like lose track, like lose the plot, you know? And I'm going to like go through it all with you, not just how I like create and edit and post my content, but then we're going to do a whole thing on repurposing and how to make repurposing easy for you. Now, I do this for clients in two capacities. One is like a done with you, where I will work with you on figuring out your systems and your processes so that you can implement them yourself. This is great for people who know they need help but aren't ready to like fully hire out yet. And then also I do this for my clients where, for example, my client might make 4 YouTube videos per month, right? They'll just do the recording. They'll set up the camera, they'll talk to the camera. Then I take that, I will edit it up, I will post it, optimize it, and then cut it into short form content, both in videos and then also turn it into things like carousels and make sure that's all scheduled and posted for them. So it's like social media management plus, because I'm not just scheduling your content, like we're doing the process start to finish from strategy through optimizing it all and creating it and posting it. So if you would like help from me on any of those things, just go to the link and book a free 30-minute chat. This is where we kind of like, it's like a vibe check to see if we're a good fit, and we'll talk about the options and everything. All right. Also, like, I would love to hear in the comments, how are you feeling? Were you a big TikTok fan? Were you creating on TikTok? What's your plan? Are you happy it's gone? I'm not gonna lie, like, even though I have I'm not like a TikTok star, but I've got about 4,000 people who follow me on TikTok, and I put a lot of work into there. But part of me feels relieved, because as a consumer, I don't know if TikTok was great for me. I'm not gonna lie. Although those tendencies to just like get stuck in scroll mode are true of all the platforms, not just TikTok. It's just TikTok was like the most enticing and juicy one to like sink your teeth into. So